Hey guys, welcome here, and the reason as to why I've made this video is for us to chill. So basically we're just going to edit, and at the same time I'm not going to take a lot of your time, guys, so just chill with me as I edit a photo. I'm just going to edit one photo using Lightroom and Photoshop, so stick around, guys. So basically I usually like organization. Helps me get a lot of pictures exactly where I put them, so it helps a lot to organize yourself and makes work easier and at least efficient. So we're going to dive right into where I have saved the pictures. I like to dump every unedited photo in a certain folder. So for this picture, I saved it here on these portraits, which we took like I took 2 years ago on an event in Nairobi. So when you look at this picture, this is Nairobi at Uhuru Park. This is a good friend of mine. We just chilled and took some photos there. While we were actually, it was Photographers Day, maybe 2018 or something. So I have not edited these photos ever, and I saw it being cool just trying to edit this photo right now with you guys. So stick around, guys. So I'm going to import this photo into Lightroom, and therefore I'm just going to go straight ahead and open Lightroom. This takes quite a little while, but I see it is already open. So a little bit. I see we're just going to keep on waiting and waiting. So actually I had tried to edit it, so I'm going to try the same edits once more. So we can still use the same photo, so I'm just going to reset everything, and this is the original photo. If you guys know how to import this photo, you first of all go to library, and then using this side you're going to look for the photos that you want to take based on where you have put that photo. So in our case, I took these photos and I put them in a specific folder, and now let's go to developing the photo. So basically I usually start with the exposure. When you look at this photo, it's not so much exposed, so I'm going to bring up the exposure a little bit upwards until I can be able to see more detail. Yeah, I think 1.31 is awesome, so it's just going to chill there. We're going to increase the contrast up to maybe +7, so that to bring back the light that was is it the light or the contrast, the oomph that is in the photo. This photo, let's say it was taken at 4 p.m. in the evening. I think it was around that time that we had started the event, and probably this must be 5ish, 6ish, or 4ish there in the evening. So I would like to increase the temperature up a little bit, at least to give it the warmth. Yeah, I think +7 is great. I'm also going to reduce the highlights, bring down the highlights, and for the shadows I'm going to do the same. I'm going to reduce the shadows a little bit. For the whites, I usually take them a little bit higher, but in this picture there is not so much of the whites. And for the blacks, I'm going to reduce them. So right now let's look at the before and after by clicking Y. Remember, this is Lightroom, and when you click Y, it brings the before and after, and you can clearly see that there is a lot of difference that it has made with that little twitch or that little change that we have just done right now. So when you click Y again, you go back to where you are, and I think basically that is good with me, and yeah, so we can just leave with the basics editing and tweaks as how it is right now. So the next thing I usually do when I am editing a photo is go to the crop tool. I usually crop my photos to the size that mostly I usually recommend people to use 4 by 5 because 4 by 5 when you look at it, it's the one which is best used in Instagram. When you post an Instagram photo, you will kind of find that most of the photographers or most of the people like to use 4.5 crop because it kind of stays takes the whole screen when you're scrolling on there, so it brings a lot of picture and a lot of activity in your page. So with her, I'll just bring her up a little bit, and I think there is nice. She looks very beautiful, and her pose is very awesome. I really like it. So the next thing I usually do is to come to the tonal curve, and I basically use the S curve most of the time because the S curves brings up the highlights and brings down the shadows. So we are going to do that. We're just going to create an S, that is by increasing the highlights and the lights kidogo and reducing the shadows just a little bit, not a big pressure. And yeah, I really like how it has come up. Yeah, I really like it. So it's awesome. The next thing I usually do is come to the hue and saturation and luminance, which is the HSL. And in the HSL, we try to bring up the colors and pop the colors a little bit more. So with this picture, I see the blazer is really nice, and we can change its color maybe by increasing. When we use the orange, when we adjust the orange, it kind of adjusts. So basically it is kind of an orange reddish look, so I am going to give it a pinkish look, a pinkish color in the reds. That is, maybe reduce it to -7 in the hue, and in the orange I'm going to give it a little bit of brightness. Let's say +13 or +9. There is good. I see it being good. Then for the greens, I am going to increase its hues, probably decrease them. I'm going to decrease them to -11. And let's go to the saturation. I believe it looks good. Before we go to the saturation, her pants are really nice, and I really like them. The pink is dark very nicely, and sorry guys, let's try to bring up the highlights so that that purple can come out clearly nice, so that when we go to the saturation now, at least we can bring up the lights that we have just popped them up. So in the reds, we're going to increase the reds a little bit, probably probably +18. There is great. For the hues, remember again, I do not want this picture to look maybe like overdone or unprofessional. I just want it to look very nice and professional, something that you can give it to a client, and yeah, he or she will be satisfied. So in the orange, I will just increase a little bit, and then in the yellows, maybe the yellows I'll just leave them at +3 or 4 or 7. Yeah. Then for the greens, I'm going to boost them up. Probably I'm going to bring them down going to bring them down. Then for the purple, remember that we boosted in the hues, so we are also going to boost the purple in the saturation, maybe to positive 13. Yeah, positive 16 is great. So with that, I believe it looks really awesome. So the next thing I usually do when it comes to Lightroom, I like to bring the subject close to me by increasing the brightness, you know. And basically I'm going to increase use the radial filter. I'm going to use the radial filter on her skin so that she can be well popped up and visible clearly from the background. While I was shooting this photo, I was using Nikon D3300, and that is that is basically an entry-level camera, and I was using the 55mm kit lens, so that answers the question of why it does not have too much bokeh or blur at the background. So basically that is how it was, and I really like how it came out still. So we're just going to adjust it to look professional and make it at least look as if it was from a different camera. So after we have selected the face clearly, I will come here and invert the mask. After I have inverted the mask, I'll come back here and increase the exposure, maybe to positive 75. There is good. And also the contrast, I will increase it to positive 5. For the highlights, I'll bring them down so that it can bring some difference maybe in the shadows of the face. And also for the shadows, I'll bring them down. For the whites, I'll increase them, and for the blacks, I'll bring them a little bit positively so that they can be visible at least. Once I am done, I will hit the I'll click the done button, and I will again try to make her body pop up clearly and nicely. So also down here, I will make a radial filter, nicely select her. Remember again, basically editing is very nice. Editing is very nice, and it is a way of expressing your creativity, and at the same time you're having fun while you're editing. If you don't have fun while doing this, well, probably not doing it right or something. So guys, editing is nice. You should get into editing if you're not into editing, but if you're into editing, the better. So after we have completed selecting the body where we want to increase the brightness or change the appearance, we're going to come down again to invert mask. Then from here, we're going to expose, make our body look the same. So I will try to make it also at positive 0.75, because on the face I made a 0.75 increase, 75 increase, and also on the contrast I'll try as much as possible to make it look the same, because you cannot say the face is much more brighter than the body. People will start asking questions and it won't be nice, of course. So the highlights, we're going to bring them down a little bit, and also for the shadows. For the whites, we're going to increase them, as well as the blacks. and definitely I see a lot of difference in that picture. So when I'm done, I think this is good. I'll just click done button, and yeah, there you are. I really like this photo right now. It kind of looks nice. So basically that is it from Lightroom. Right now I want us to jump into Photoshop. Once I'm done tweaking the little things that I want to tweak on this photo, I usually go and right click and I click edit in Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. So this is going to ask me to edit a copy with Lightroom, and I'm just going to click this because the others are not going to take the options or take the effects that I have done on this photo currently. Open anyway, and we're basically going to wait for Photoshop to open up. So basically, if you've reached up to this point, help a brother out. I just started this channel, and I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and follow me for such good awesome times. So if you're having any questions, you can just ask me. And also you have something that you can help me with, maybe. Oh, and we had also tried to, okay, yeah, there it is. So we are here now. So as I was saying, if you have more knowledge in editing using the Lightroom and the Photoshop, you can also suggest here. If you are also a photographer, I am looking for photography friends and also more artists. So if you do such stuff, you can drop your comment down below, and we can have a conversation. It is good to keep the world small. So yeah, so let's get back to editing. So basically here is the photo. So when I look at this photo, I want to basically bring out more of the subject and less of the background. Right now also the background is well lit, and I want it to be a little bit more dull. So what I'll do is I'll come down here to Photoshop, this half circle, half full circle, half empty circle down here. I'll just click it and take curves. For this first curve, I will reduce the brightness, and there you go. That's how the photo looks right now. Yeah, from here I will basically click on the white screen on the layers, on the circle, on the curves one layer, and hit Control I to invert the effect of the curve. So using my brush tool and making sure that these two screens, the white is on the top and up here the opacity is at 100%, I will increase this size of the brush tool by making it a little bit bigger by hitting the bracket signs on your keyboard. And basically I'm just going to brush on the sides of the model. So basically that's how it's looking like at the moment. Also her hair, it's not going to be bad if I make it a little bit darker. Yeah, something like that. Also her Taliban, maybe I've done too much. So when you see you have done too much, let's first of all finish up. We are going to make the changes a little bit later on. So I want to increase zoom out the photo, and I have done that by clicking Control and plus keyboard. So basically, yeah, make the background a little bit. Remember, by minimizing is also hitting the left bracket, minimizing the tool brush. Yeah. So basically this is also the background, so I'm also going to hit her with some, yeah, That's awesome. So maximize, increase the brush again, come down here and try to make it right with the background. So as I was saying, I kind of messed around here, and she kind of looks a little bit dark on her face. So if you want to undo such, you will come down here where the two screens were, and you will invert the screen so that the black screen can be on top. So you're going to minimize the brush size, and you're going to slowly clean her face up. At least you can see the difference right now. Basically, it's like daytime and noontime right now. Daytime and night, sorry. So I'm going to hit this eye indicator here on the curves layer, and basically it will show us for the before and after. So when I shut it off, that is how we imported the photo from Lightroom. And right now, that small difference has made us improve the brightness of the model and reduce the brightness of the background. So basically that's how she looks right now. And personally, I would say she looks much more beautiful. And let me a little bit at least reduce the size, and also here. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I should have inverted the screens down there. Yeah, at least trying to make her black. Yeah, so trying to make sure that the work that we have done is a little bit good and beautiful. So yeah, editing takes some time, and it's a learning process. I've clearly learned a lot while doing this, and I can say that it has taught me a lot. It has been a nice experience, and I am happy. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to remove blemishes on her skin. She kind of has a little blemishes, and it helps us make it more beautiful. So we are going to first of all merge these layers. I usually like to merge these layers after I have changed the small and I'm going to click the shift hold. I'm going to hold the shift, control, alt and E to merge these layers into one layer. From this layer I am going to use the spot healing brush tool to slowly clear off the little blemishes that she has on her face. And basically the spot healing brush is awesome because when you just hit the stroke a little bit, the blemishes are going to go off, and it will leave a very beautiful skin. That is one of the things that I usually like about the blemishes. Really nice. Editing is made much more easier and faster using the spot healing brush, but at the same time, if you're not a fan for the spot healing tool, brush tool, you can use the healing brush tool or the patch tool. Alternatively, you can also use the lasso tool, and also when you have selected, you will be able to go on from there. But for now, I'm just going to use the spot healing tool, brush tool, because I don't want to waste a lot of your time, guys. So, and I'm glad so much, by the way, for you coming here and spending your time with me here as I edit this photo. And basically, if you have something to share with me, you can share with me, and it will be great. Let's be friends, guys. So awesome, 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 awesome. She looks beautiful. I really like this. So there you are, guys. And apologies for the background noises that you're hearing. Yeah, I mean a little bit noisy environment, so sorry about that, guys. So I think with that we're good. Yeah, for her chest we are going to tweak a little bit. Yeah, so basically that is it. So guys, if you stuck around with me to this end, I'm really happy. I think I've come to an end of this editing, and I really like the experience. Taking from this picture from where it was to how it was. Let me show you how it was on Lightroom. This is the before and this is the after, and I really like the change. Tell me what you think about. So you can tell me what you think about this editing style that I have, and thank you guys for sticking around. So I would really love it if you support my process, and I'm surely going to see you in the next video. So peace out, bye.